So when we started yesterday, we discussed that Power BI is a visualization tool. It is one of the business intelligence tools. We did a brief comparison of Power BI and Tableau because some of you had a question, ma'am, which is more powerful, Tableau or Power BI? Right? We discussed that Tableau can do definitely much more things than the Power BI in terms of the size of data set as well. Tableau can connect to much more larger data sets as compared to Power BI. We also started talking about the costing. We discussed that Tableau is expensive as compared to Power BI. Power BI is provided, it's a little, the free version is actually free. It gives you 1 GB limit on the data set. So where Tableau's desktop profession charges $70 per user per month, Power BI Pro tool charges only $9.99 per user per month for a 10 GB storage, right? So in terms of the costing, Tableau is costly. In terms of the feature list, obviously, Tableau can do much more things than Power BI. We then moved on to this link, powerbi.microsoft.com. And I hope all those who were there with me yesterday, yes, Grace, the pillars of PBI, it's very user friendly also, correct, that is correct. Okay, one more thing was here, how many of you already done the setup? You know, some of us were not able to do it. Mohammed, which certification you want to sit in after the workshop? Can you please elaborate? Done. So what I can see is a lot of done, which means that most of you have put an effort to install Power BI. Was it smooth? Were you able to install Power BI? Did you click on this, just followed the instructions and you were able to do it? That is a superb achievement in itself. You've been able to install a tool. Excellent. Good job. Now, all those who have not been able to do, try it after this workshop. Okay. The next thing that I was making you familiar was with the areas on the Power BI. We discussed this is the area where the visualization will happen. The plots will get plotted, isn't it? This is the area where your information would be there, where you can drag and drop and add it, right? We also discussed that this is the area where you can make different visualization charts, right? And we then started talking about the 3 main steps of Power BI. We saw we need to first of all connect the data source. That data source could be an Excel sheet or what all are the other data sets? Does anybody remember which you can connect from? Very good. SQL is the another thing. What else? SQL Server. Okay. What else? Excel, Azure, web. Yes, Soumya, Bhuvnesh, very good. Yes, these are the different things. These are the different things. You can get the sample data set. You can get the data set from the internet as well. One data set I had shared with you as well. If you want, I will put it in the chat again for you little later. Okay. So with this, we then started talking about the basic plots, right? How we can create the bar plots. We discussed how we can create basic charts like a bar chart, a stacked bar chart. We looked into pie chart, donut charts, funnel charts, ribbon charts. And for all these things that we did yesterday, I was explaining you the reason of using these charts as well, right? We looked into an include and exclude feature yesterday, in which you can include a particular subset and you can also exclude a particular area of your chart, isn't it? We looked into then the tabular data in Power BI, how you can create the tables, right? How you can format those tables, how you can do the aggregation of tables. And I think somewhere when we reached metrics, we stopped, right? After plotting the line charts and the area chart, we stopped and we completed the metrics, right? So that is what we had done yesterday. If everybody remember, that is what we were plotting yesterday. So if you have missed yesterday's session, I have shared with you the YouTube link. You can go there and you can actually look at the recording. I'm sharing the YouTube link again. Okay, Kirat, I hope that helps you. If you have missed it, don't worry. Okay, coming to my Power BI now. This is the interface of Power BI. By now, I think most of you have installed it, right? You can see that this is the area where you can see different visuals. If you want to create a scatter chart, a gauche or a pie chart or a donut chart, some of these we looked yesterday. But Even before I do that, there are 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? Step number 1, import the data. Step number 2 is you would load the data. Step number 3 is when you will actually start visualizing the data. So what is my first step? Step is import. Import what? Tableau data set. So I imported my Tableau data set. And what did I get? I am getting a connection. Can you see all these things? Okay, please be with me, guys. It's a very short duration. We are meeting for only 2 hours. With a short break, we will take around 8 o'clock. Okay, so whatever pending work and all is there, you can do at 8 o'clock. I'll give you a 10 minutes break, but please focus on the and try to take it as much. So here what I can say, let's say I wanted orders. So I just click on it. It will load you a preview. Okay, and then once it is loaded, this preview is loaded, you can double click on it and you can click on load. As you click on load, you will see that it will start bringing all the information here for you. Can you see this? All this information will be brought in. Right? So this takes time, particularly when it's huge amount of data. It will take time. How many of you need the data set? Thank you, Balakrishna, for sharing the YouTube link. How many of you need the data set again from me? Yes, shall I share it? Okay. It is Tableau data set, the name is, but it will be useful for Power BI also. So you can take this data set. I have put it on 2 times on the chat now. Okay. Download from it. But again, as I was stressing yesterday also, it doesn't matter. What matters is the information. Don't worry about the data set. Brilliant. So once it is done, you can click on this option, right? Remember, we discussed all these steps yesterday. So we will click on this option. But before that, we need to make sure what kind of information we actually want, right? So the very first thing that we are going to start looking into today is the concept of a scatter plot, right? So this is the place from where we will be starting. In order to make a scatter plot, we will do that in a minute, but let's try to understand what is the benefit of a scatter plot. Whenever you want to compare 2 numeric files or 2 numeric fields or measures, you will use a scatter chart. Particularly things like, for example, on this scatter chart, you can see on the y-axis, I've got the profit. On the x-axis, I've got the years. And I'm trying to plot which year, which profit, how much profit I got in a scattered information, right? Or let's say I wanted to find out the population density of a place, of a country. Again, in that case, scatter plots will be very, very useful. So in order to do the scatter plots, let's do it together as a team. Can we all do this together? Are we ready? Right? So let's go to Power BI. Right? Oh, somebody is asking me for the assignment. I will discuss it. I will discuss it, definitely. Let's draw the scatter plot and then we'll carry on. So what we are going to do, first of all, from the right hand side, whichever data set you are using, don't worry about the data set as of now. Whichever data set you are using, on that data set, just do one thing. Just before that, click on this new visual, right? As you click on this new visual, you will see this kind of a dummy visual on which you can plot, right? And then you need to just click on this option to see the axis, the legend, the values, the small multiples. Can you see all those things? And on this visualizations chart, can you see this scatter chart option? You will click on this scatter chart option. And then it will ask you some question. It is asking you about details. It is asking you about x-axis, y-axis, different things, right? So let's say on the x-axis, I wanted to put sales, and on the y-axis, I wanted to put profit. So what I will do, on the x-axis, I'm going to drag the option sales, and I'm going to put it here, right? And on the y-axis, let's say I wanted to plot the profit. Depends upon what you want to do. So I'm going to put it here, right? What next? Now there are different other options. As you can see, it says details. So what I would do in the details tab, as I showed you in the slide also, as I plot the different things on this chart with x-axis sales, y-axis profit, and I give a size. This size is important. If you give the size as sales, and within the play axis, you give order date as year, order date and year, what it will do, it will plot a graph like this. Depending upon whichever data set you have, you can select the values and plot it. Can we all quickly try this and write done in the chat? If your scatter plot is plotted, can you write done? Let's do this all graphs together so that we are comfortable. Done, one done. Okay. Drag and drop the values and plot a scatter chart. And what it will do, it will plot a graph something like this. No, I'll make it a little bigger. All those settings we discussed yesterday, right? How we can make the settings by making it bigger. All those options are here. If you click on this formatting option, legend is on, x-axis is on. How do you want to zoom it, right? These are the different options. You can use the data colors. You can give a shape. You can give a color background. And as and when you keep changing here, you will see the visualizations will change here. So whatever scatter plot you're getting is good, is fine, right? And I hope many of you have been able to do it. Okay, Bharat done, Jyoti Ranjan done, Soumya, Shivam. Okay, let's move to the next chart, and that is called as a waterfall chart in Power BI, right? Wherever you want to show a trend in any of the visualizations, you want to make a trend, show the trend, what you can do, you can create a waterfall chart. And in order to create a waterfall chart, again, you need to first decide what all information you want to put, right? If you want to put year, the quarter, the month, and the day, you will put all those details here. You will have a breakdown where you will put the category against the values profit, and you will see that a graph like this gets plotted. Okay. From the options of the visualizations, select the option for the waterfall chart and just try this. In order to see the trends, that is the main benefit, in order to see the trends. Okay, any questions in Power BI, what to put in legends? Okay, so whenever you're using Power BI, legends have their own well in the field section. You know, in the field section, you can see legends. So what you can do, you can drag the relevant field to the legend, right? And in order to organize a legend in Power BI, select the visual. In the legend pane, select the arrow which is next to the field that you want to reorder. And then from there, you can add the legend. So this is how the waterfall chart can be created. There is another option in which you can create the tree maps. Wherever you want to display a parent-child relationship, you can use a tree map. In order to create a tree map, again, you should first of all make sure that you have the data imported. And from the visualizations, this area, you can see this option. You will be able to see this option here. Just on the right-hand side of this donut chart is a tree map. So as you click on this, it will help you to create a tree map, something like this. So on this, I wanted to show the sales by category and subcategory. Chairs, how many are sold, right? Machines, how many are sold. So these tree maps actually display a hierarchical data. It shows nested rectangles, basically. A rectangle within a rectangle. So each level of hierarchy that you see here, it is represented by a colored rectangle. Can you see this here? Orange is there then. And Power BI bases the size of the space inside the rectangle on the measured value. Whatever measured value you had, you can quickly use that to draw a tree diagram in Power BI. Okay. I hope the tree bar is clear, tree map is clear. Then there are other things that you can do in Power BI. For example, there's an option to create a Gauss chart. Yesterday, we saw how we can make pie chart, donut chart. We saw the differences also between them. Today, we are going to do something similar, a round kind of a structure, which is called the Gauss chart. So in Power BI, when I have to create a Gauss chart, it is, again, one of the important visualization charts which are used in case, you wanted to see the minimum value or maximum value, or you want to see the current value against the target value, you can use the Gauss charts. Okay. minimum, maximum, this kind of looks like in a speedometer as well, right? So you can select the gauge option. So go to the Power BI, and with whatever information you have here, search for the gauge chart. You can see over here, there's an option, gauge. Click on this, and based on what all information you want to put. So here, remember I had selected the option sales and profit. So it is showing me sales and profit gauge chart. Sumit, good question. How to select which type of chart to use for a given diagram? We discussed this point yesterday. How would I know which chart to use when? Can anybody answer? Can anybody put it in the chat based on what we discussed? It's a very good question, actually. How would I know bar chart or pie chart or which chart to use? How would I know? Is there any shortcut for that? Great, good answers. Okay. Okay. All right. So which chart should be used? We've got line charts, we've got clustered column chart, we've got combination charts, stacked cards. Which particular chart we will create? That is the questions, right? For which data? See, it all depends upon what you want to do. If you want to compare values, use a pie chart. For relative comparison, you can use bar charts for precise comparisons. If you want to compare the volumes, use an area chart or bubble chart. If you want to show the trend, how is the population increasing or decreasing in a particular country, the trend or the sales trend, or you want to show the patterns in your data, what you can use is called as a line chart, bar chart, or a scatter chart, scatter plot. Okay, based on the requirements. Yes, if you want to see the trend, you can use, very good, Sarath, you can use funnels as well. Great. Yes. So yesterday, whatever graphs we were drawing, we were also looking at the benefits of those, right? Right, we did that yesterday. So whatever graphs we will draw today, we will also have a look at them. What are the benefits of those graphs? So this is the gauge chart. As I said, if you want to find out the minimum value, maximum value, you can definitely go for that option. Okay. Now, how about, let's say I wanted to go to, I have a plot for India map, right? And I want to show a card, and that card should show the numbers, right? If I wanted to show card with numbers, what I could do. So for example, if I say how many total number of patients were confirmed COVID, right? How many discharged? How many were the deaths? If all those informations I wanted to display with numbers, there is an option of cards. Where do you see this card option? Just on the right hand side of this. Can you see this card option? You can just click on this cards option. Obviously, it is not giving me correct data as of now because the plots are not correct. But a card can give you information like this. 49K are the confirmed, 14K cured, 16,1694 deaths. And this bubble size obviously is different. You could also have card with just plain text. In order to create card with text, you can again select the option card and then select the text. You can visualize this information like this. These are the accessories. These are the tables. This is the count of the subcategory. What is the count of the subcategory, right? This is card with text. You can also have cards with dynamic text. When I say dynamic text means, for example, I've got phones and copiers and binders, and I've got another binders here. So what I can have, let's say Amazon wanted to see the sales of West, East, Central, and South. We can also create cards with dynamic text like this, something which is on the slides. The next is in Power BI, you can also create card with dates. So for example, these are the sales by category. On the y-axis, I've got sales by category. And on the x-axis, I've got the technology, the furniture, and the office suppliers. Okay. Now, based on the day, what is the date? Tuesday, March 18, 2014. It is telling me that the maximum sales that were recovered were in the field of technology. How can I do that? I'm using an option of cards with dates. You could have cards with relative dates. So that means I've plotted 2 dates here. Tuesday, March 18, this is how it behaved. Sunday, October 11, 2015, the earliest order date was last 5 years. So you can always plot a graph, something similar to what you can see on my slide. Let's say you also wanted to have multiple rows and column charts. So you wanted to show that the home office, the consumer, and the corporate office, how many sales were there. You can create a multiple row column chart in Power BI, which can help you find out the accessories, for in this case, accessories profit, copiers profit, phones profit, right? And how much profit was made by each of these branches. So you can see here, it says the West is the one which is making the maximum profit. That's the whole benefit of Power BI. Okay. Just before we move on to the filters in Power BI and we start talking about these different filters, there was an assignment which was shared with you all yesterday. How many of us have actually received that assignment and also done the assignment? Let me just open it for you. So this is the Power BI assignment which we are going to discuss and then move on to the filters concept. Right. So this was a quick assignment. Let's look at the first question. In which year did Microsoft discharge an extra administration called Power BI Embedded? You can write the answer in the chat, whatever answers. There was no submission that we requested you. We can just discuss it now. Remember, I asked you to just do it and we will discuss it in the session. So which year is it? A, B, C, D? Quickly, guys, let's answer. The answer is 2016. In the year 2016, correct. So all those who answer 2016, that is the correct. So it was 2016 when Microsoft discharged an extra administration called Power BI Embedded. Okay, let's move on to the second question. The principal arrival of Power BI depended on what? What is the answer that you've marked for it? Was it Excel, Word, PowerPoint, or Outlook? Excellent. Answer is A, Microsoft Excel. Okay. The third assignment, Power BI was first discharged to the overall population. Yes, it was not before 2015. C is the answer. It was just in 2015. And imagine from 2015 to now, it is revolutionizing the world, right? Wherever data is there, Power BI is there. You can use it. Excellent. 2015 is the answer. Okay, this question quite straightforward. We even discussed this in the class. The fourth question. What does the word BI means? Very good. Perfect. So the word BI means, yes, correct. That is correct. So business intelligence. Right. Option B. Okay. The fifth one. The free Power BI adaptation has a data limit point of confinement of only 1 GB per client. So only 1 GB per client is the answer. Option B. Okay, let's look at the sixth question. The Pro form of Power BI has what number of GB client? So what number of GB per client, the Pro version? The answer to this question is 10 GB per client, D. Correct. Grace, Lakshmi, Kundurti, very good. Shanavas, very good. 10 GB per client is the answer. Superb. Okay, last 4 questions. Let's move on to the seventh. Power BI Plus is accessible for a month-to-month membership expense of not as much as what the number of US dollars per permit per user. What is the cost? It's $10. Good. All those who try to search it on internet and tried solving this question, hats off. Good job, guys. 7th answer is $10. Let's look at the 8th question. The Power BI portable application is accessible for all these with the exception of, which of this is not going to work? iOS, Android, BlackBerry, Windows Phone. Somebody asked me yesterday, it was a very good question. Somebody was using Linux, right? And you asked me, ma'am, Linux, it's not working. So I told you on the Linux machine, Power BI is not yet supported. So similarly, on a portable application, the BlackBerry is not going to work. Option C. Okay. Assignment number, the question number 9th on this assignment. Before it was renamed to Power BI, Project Crescent was at first accessible for open download on. Oh, Sarath, you've been looking on Google, a lot of things, huh? Great. Okay, Mohammed, very good. Pratiksha, Sachin. The answer for this is July 11, 2011. Let's look at the 10th one. What area do you go to change and reshape the data in Power BI? Let's say I want to go and change it. Option is transformation will just transform it. Question editor, no. Data modeling, we don't want to create. We just need to click on the option data editing. Okay, answer for the 10th question is data editing. Okay, any of the questions you need another answer, quick answer, 1 to 10. The reason of giving you this quiz was, it's always good to know a bit of history of the tool. It's about knowing when it was created, what was its initial name, you know, to know in and out of this application. So if you've done it, good job. And we don't need to actually stop on this assignment. There are a lot of practical things which we can do with Power BI. Definitely, you know, plot some graphs, as I told you, look at some data sets which are available, try working on this. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is going to quickly show you some views that you can create using the filters. So before that, we will understand what is the option of filters. Anybody knows what's a filter and what is a filter going to do in Power BI? What is the benefit of the word filter? What does a filter do? Anyone in the chat, you can write it down. Okay, somebody's asked a question. What is the difference between load and transformation of your data in Power BI? Okay, so see what happens is when you load your data, whatever data in Excel you have, you can use that data directly because you're importing it onto your this Power BI desktop version, right? If you transform, that means you can modify the data. Whatever you have already imported, you can modify that. For example, you know you wanted to change the column names. So when you want to do that modifications, then that is the main benefit. Okay, does that answer? Okay, so I've got some answers regarding the filters also. Good. Okay, so the main benefit, even before we go ahead, when we talk about filters, that means it is going to help us we apply this on basically the different visual levels and get the meaningful insight out of it. In Power BI, we've got majorly around 3 types of filters or 3 levels of filters. The one is the report, the second is the page, and the next is the visual. Okay, so in order to look at these filters, let us now quickly go to the Power BI. Right, everybody's here. So you can see these different options. Can you all see my Power BI? You can see these options, right? Filters. You can filter, they put some filters on these visuals. So for example, if I say sales is less than a particular amount. And then you can add a logical operation, and or. You can then add another data field. You can look at the different fields on this page, right? So can you see these are the different options that I have when I talk about the filters. So now let's talk about what all are the filters. Filters on a visual, filters on the page, and filters on all pages. Finally, drill down. So let us quickly look into all of them. Filters on this particular visual. So when you are applying a filter on this particular visual, what it is going to do, it will apply it only to this chart. So for example, I applied a filter on this visual. I said, I want the region all. Okay. And I want the region is not east or west. Do you see this? So if it's not east or west, what does it give me? It gives me the central and the south region only. What is the kind of this filter? Basic filtering. And from here, I have selected the sales that I wanted to see were from central and from the south. So what did it render me? Here, it has rendered me the information of the south, the central and the south. Okay, so this is how the filters can be applied. This is the section. In Power BI, you can use this section, filters. You can apply the filters on the page. So what will happen if you apply a filter on the page, it will affect all the charts on this page, all the charts. So for example, on this, what I wanted to see, I wanted to see the furniture. I wanted to see office supplies, and I wanted to see the technology. So what I did, I put a tick on this. What kind of filtering I've used? As of now, basic filtering, right? So what it has done, very carefully observe. On this line graph, the furniture, office supplies, and technology is shown. Similarly, you've got this sales by region, and you've got this sales by subcategory. Here also, you are getting that same information. Furniture, office supplies, technology. Okay, so these filters are really useful when you want to filter, get a meaningful insight. Let's say you wanted to apply filters on all the pages. So when you apply the filters on all the pages, it will affect the charts on all the pages that you have, each and every page. If this is page 1, yes, it is going to. Page 2, yes, page 3. It will apply the same filter, right? So here I wanted to see information only about the furniture. So where is the filter? Very closely, if you observe this slide, this is the filter I've selected, right? Similarly here, only the furniture is what it will give me. Okay. It's not a dashboard here. It's the different graphs that I've plotted here. It's a different graphs. Okay. And then comes another thing, which is drill through. What is the benefit of drill through? It will help you navigate to different pages so that you can drill down the information. You can add more details to the information. This is the option. See, drill through. Drill through is the option. And let's say I wanted to drill through only the office supplies. For storage, in the year the sales were 2000K. Binders, 203K. The different appliances that I have in my office, 108K. Paper, 78K. The supplies, which is a subcategory, 47K. Arts, 27K. So can you see this graph getting plotted? You could then, as we move ahead, you can also create some slicers. Slicers are nothing but some interactive filters. You can have text slicers as well. So how you can get the slicer option on the Tableau? Can you select this option? Right, this option. Let me show you it on the Tableau as well. This option, you've got a slicer. If you click on this slicer, it has given me as of now, select or drag the fields to populate. Okay, let's try plotting some slicers here. So as I click on this, let me put any random data for now. Let's say I put sales. Okay, I want to put profit. How do I want? Should it be summarized? Summarized value should it bring me? Or shall I use it as a category? I'm plotting some things here, right? So when I will plot based on the category, what it will do, it will give me an output, something similar to this. You can see that once I select this option, it has given me a region or segment option, central, consumer, corporate, home office, and these are the different options, east, south, and west. So you can see that these are the different regions. And it has plotted that per region, let's say it's blue. Blue is representing the central region. So it is telling me these number of phones, these numbers in the east, these numbers of phones in the south, these number of phones in the west. So it's kind of giving me the entire information in a form of a text slicers, or basically the interactive filters. Okay. All right. Before we go ahead, is there any question, anything that you want to ask me? Oh, there is something called, yes, automatic filters are also there. They will help you get automatically added to the visual level of the filter pane. That is one benefit. Okay, any other questions? Okay, now just before we move on to the advanced charts in Power BI, I wanted to show you some advanced things which Power BI can actually do. I'm going to give you a quick assignment which you have to do very quickly, and in that assignment, what we are going to do is we are going to plot a graph. Let me just show you the graph that I want you to plot, and then you all can try that. You can use the same sheet that I gave it to you, or you can use any kind of a data set, any kind of a data set. Okay, so if you're using my data set, or if you're using your data set, I want you to create two graphs. Yes, this PPT I will share. So I want you to plot two graphs. One is the donut chart, right, representing this information that we have. We did this yesterday. So we'll create this donut chart quickly as an assignment from yesterday. And once you have done this, write done in the chat. We will move on to the next question after this. Okay, I'm going to put my data set. Yes, if you want my data set, let me just provide you in the chat. All right, I've shared my data set in the chat. I hope this donut chart is visible. Please try building it quickly and write done in the chat. Use any data set you want to. If some of you are trying to find out the option, data set is already shared in the chat. If some of you are trying to find the option, this is the place where you would go. Please click on this option, donut chart. As you click on this donut chart, it will give you a placeholder. Then you can create the data, add the values. And based on the different values you add here, you can see I added the profit, I added the quantity, and why not? I can add some more information. How about sales? So as you can see, let me make it a little bigger for you to visualize. You can see this donut chart has got plotted based on the information I've given. I can go to the format option and I can add some more details. See, you want the shadow effect, you can give a shadow effect to your chart. If you want the border, you can give it on, right? Similarly, what is the shadow position, outside or inside? These are all the formatting options. Do you want to give a tool tip, right? See, as of now, it is on. If I switch it off, you can see as I scroll across the graph, it doesn't do anything. The tool tips, visual headers, preset, where do you want to keep it? If I say put it on the top, it will take it to the top, right? These are the different things which you can do. If I do right, it's going to make this highlighted on the right hand side, presets. If you want to add the titles, you want to give a background, you want to change the background color, all these informations, everything with the formatting. So make sure first plot it, and then based on whatever formatting you want to do, you can do it by clicking on the donut. Okay. The recording for yesterday is shared. Today also will be on the YouTube. Okay, will be there. Okay, you're not able to upload the data. So all you do is once you click on the Power BI, click on this Get Data option, click on the Excel workbook. Let me close this and show it to you one more time. Please observe it carefully. In order to create it, I'm going to open Power BI one more time. The data is already shared with you. You can take that, or any Excel sheet you can take where the information is there. And the very first option you can select is click on Get Data. As you click on Get Data, these are the different options from where you can fetch the data from the Excel sheet, from the SQL Server, blank table, or a sample data set. So if you click on Excel sheet, you can click on this option. Wherever your data set is present, just navigate to that place, open. Just 3 steps. Select, upload. Okay, so somebody asked it, Orero Almeida, is it clear now? Can you write yes if it is clear? How to join the complete BI course? Please check it with the team once. They will definitely guide you. Yes, Sarath, you're correct. That is correct. So once this information is there, what you do, double click on it, then it will start loading, showing you all the information. Just click on the load. If you want to transform data, just click on transform data. Change it, change the column headings. Whenever you don't save it and just close it like that, like I did, it says there are pending changes in your queries. Do you want to apply or discard? So based on what you want to do, you can plot a graph accordingly. Okay, is that all clear? We were able to do donut charts. Anybody who faced problems? Abhijit Singh, what about importing? Which importing, Abhijit? Can you just add more details to your question? Okay, Kundurti done, Shivam done. Great. So the next thing that I wanted to do, just to see how much do you remember from the yesterday's session, and to give you a little bit more practice, how about plotting a table like this? I want you all to give me a table exactly something similar to this, with blue border, blue headings. Take any table, any data set, in fact. Quickly try this, guys. I'll give you 5 minutes. Draw a table like this. See if you're getting comfortable with this. Meanwhile, any questions you have, please put it in the chat. How do we create a power? What is a power dashboard? Okay, so when you create a dashboard, somebody is asking about the dashboard, Power BI dashboard. It is nothing but a single page, which is also called as a canvas. Okay, so it's kind of a visualization which is telling you a story. A dashboard gives you what? Dashboard gives you information, it gives you story, right? It is always limited to one page, right? So any dashboard that you are creating will depend upon the data set that you are adding, right? So incorporate all the images, simplify your visuals, select what kind of visuals you want to put it on your dashboard. You can put some layouts, horizontal, vertical, right? This is how you can do. So Power BI dashboard is possible, single page canvas, that can be done. Okay, how many of you have done it? I like the name. Somebody logged in with name India data scientist. Okay, Indian data scientist, all done. Okay. Sarath done. Okay, how many of us are still doing? Let's complete it quickly. Make a table. Meanwhile, any questions, please put it in the chat. Okay, somebody, Sarath is asking Power Query and Power Pivot difference. So Power Query and Power Pivot they are kind of independent tools. Okay, you might just need one or other. You don't need both of them. See, when you're using Power Query will help you prepare simple but large data set for analysis. Okay, simple but large data sets for analysis. On the other hand, if you're creating a Power Pivot, it will be used for more complex models, more powerful calculations than your simple pivot tables or worksheet in Excel worksheets, no, in Excel. So that is the difference. So in short, if I try to summarize this question, Power Query, you can get your data into Excel, either in worksheet or Excel data model, right? With Power Pivot, you can add more and more richness to that data model. Okay, any other questions? Anything else you want to ask? All good? How many of us were able to actually plot this? All right, let's look at the steps. What you have to do, go to the Power BI and select these as the formatting options. You had to just change the font size, put it as text size, right? In the column header size, also put it as text size. Look for a column called as grid in the formatting tab. Look for grid. And based on that, if you say vertical grid, horizontal grid, it will plot this table accordingly. What kind of a header you want, you can select that. Field formatting and the background color, add the title. Let's look into the Power BI, right? So all I had to do was, this was the table that I wanted to create. So I'm going to click on table. As I click on table, I get this option, right? Now from the orders, what I wanted to do, I wanted to put some information. Let me just take it up. As I click on this visualization tool, I can add the options. Let's say I wanted to put profit. I wanted to put the sales. All these charts, if you try to plot, just make sure that you have selected this table. You have looked at this table before you go ahead. Okay, so and in the visualization, select this table. If you want a table or a slicer, slicer or table with filter, you can use slicer, or you can create a table like this. Okay, add your data fields here, add your values here. Let's say I wanted to add quantity. I wanted to add the sales. I wanted to add the order dates, right? Add all those informations and you will get a table like this. First of all, plot the table. Then go on to the formatting option. And in this formatting option, where there is a grid, if you want a horizontal grid, vertical grid, you can put all those information here. You can set the vertical grid color here. So as I click on this, you can see these lines over here on the grid have turned to blue. Similarly, what color do you want? The horizontal grid lines, you want it orange, right? You can give horizontal grid thickness, how thick you want. Can you see it's changing? So it depends upon what you want to do here. Outline color, outline weight, and then there will be something with the background color. I hope you can see all these options. The background color, let's say I wanted to set to light blue. This is what it was expected, no? Put it here. If you wanted to give a color to your table, that color to the table can also be added. So these are the different places. If I click on column headers, you can see the font color. You can change the font color. You can change the background color. You can see it's all changing dynamically. This is the main benefit of Power BI. When we compare it with Excel and other charts, this is one big benefit. So we are going to move ahead and look into some advanced things which you can do in Power BI, because I wanted to show you a lot of things here. We won't be able to see each and everything happening on Power BI, but the slides are quite intuitive. It will give you a fair idea because I've added the snapshots here. So let us look into what are the advanced charts we can create in Power BI. Okay. So there could be some add-ins, plugins, which could be developed by other developers, which you can use. So in order to add the charts, you need to have the Power BI account, which can be created using your university or probably your email ID, your corporate email ID. That can be added. So you can see here, there's an option of sign in, right? You can click on the sign in option. And as I click on the sign in option, I can provide the details, right? This PowerPoint presentations, I will upload it. I will put it in the chat directly. Okay, don't worry. I will put it so that you can practice. Now, in order to look into the advanced charts in Power BI, once you've logged in into Power BI, what it will do, it will take you to the App Store. And you can see that there are different options. You can even try these options with me if you want, or maybe just listen to me for now. That will be better, and pick them up. So you can select a radar chart, drill down pie chart, HTML content, individual control chart. Can you see different options? So you can add these different charts. For example, this radar chart, which has been created by MAQ software, it helps you to visualize the multivariate data in a two-dimensional chart. So it also gives us this information. See, it is giving me a drill down Pi Pro by Zoom charts. I've got HTML content. I've got individuals control chart by PQ systems. So as you can see, these are the different charts which can be created using Power BI. They are created. You can use them. Moving to the next slide. Look at this one. Over here, I've got an animated bar chart race, right? Animated bar chart race has been created. You can see this is the view which I've created. Just see the view. In the view, the chairs, the phones, the storage, table, accessories, copiers can be seen in a particular year. What is the year number? 2016. So this is the sales by subcategory and year. You can see I've applied a filter. Order date is year. Sales, I want all. Subcategory, I want all. Isn't it? So what is the name? Subcategory. What is the value? Sales. What is the period? Order date. These are all the information I've got. I can create some advanced charts in Power BI. For example, a word cloud. Let's say you are speaking to a lot of people on a Zoom, and you wanted to see people are from which country, which people are joining you from different countries. What you can do, you can use a word cloud option where, let's say somebody is from California and he types California, it will be visible here. Somebody is from New York, it's going to populate here, or Utah, or maybe Indiana, Kentucky. So different places, different states, you can see these charts can be, these places can come up. Right? In the free version, they are not there. You have to sign in. Okay. After word cloud, there is one more type of graph, which is called as infographic. Before that, what is the benefit of word cloud? As I was explaining you, word cloud is basically going to give you, let's say I'm the host and I wanted to know from which all places are you, and I share a link with you. You type your name, the name of the state or the city you are from. That is going to pop up in my output window. That is the big benefit. Now, then the next type of graph I want you to visualize an infographic in Power BI, something similar to this. What is the benefit? You can plot this graph, but what is the benefit of infographic? So when I talk about infographic in Power BI, whenever you are clicking on the infographics category, you can see an infographic designer option. You can choose from there and import it. Okay. So this infographic designer custom visual, it will help you control the appearance of the list, appearance of the bar chart, column chart, and you can do it with very precisely. You can do it with shapes, colors, and the layouts. This is a very good tool which you can see embedded in Power BI. It's called as infographic organizer. As a name suggests, it will basically it's a representation of information in a graphical format. Why do you do that? Just to make your data more and more understandable, right? So you could have it with bar graphs, pie charts. We discuss histograms, line charts. Today we looked into tree diagrams, mind maps, all those things can be used. Okay. The next option that we can do over here is the advanced charts under Power BI. You can create a use a play axis. Please visualize this graph, play axis. Right. So as you look into this, what comes to your mind? What is it actually plotting? Consumer, corporate, home office, sales by category, sales by region. So multiple things it is showing us, right? So play axis, which is a dynamic, it works like a dynamic slicer. So what it will do, it will animate your Power BI visuals without least amount of user interaction. It will help you animate your Power BI visuals. Okay, this is one very beneficial again. It can help you show the reports. You don't have to click every time. You just want to change the values of the filter, being ideal to use on wall displays. You know, particularly great when you want to see trends or you want to look for patterns in your data. So you can use this option, the play axis. We could also create a scroller. Observe this slide very carefully. This is again an advanced level Power BI graph, which you can make. So scroller, if you observe this graph very carefully, what it is doing, it's a kind of a visual which is helping you visualize your data, but as an animating scrolling text, like an animation, right? So what you can do on this graphs is you can scroll any custom message. Let's say you want to scroll news headlines, or let's say report changes update, or let's say notifications. So this scrolling can happen. It can scroll the data from right to left side. So right to left, you can just scroll the data from right to left. And this is a very important tool, important visual. It is certified by Microsoft Power BI as well. Okay, so that is called as scroller. The next graph that you can use is the sunburst. Observe this before I actually explain you. Sunburst in Power BI. This is another advanced level graph which we can create. Okay, it is looking something similar to donut, right? Today we created a donut chart. But the difference between here is in a donut chart, you had a single layer, right? Here you have multiple levels in one go. So kind of a hierarchical data. That is what the sunburst chart is doing. So it is helping you visualize your hierarchical data in a form of a concentric circle. So the circle which is in the center, it will always represent the root node. And then as it moves out, it's a moving hierarchy, it moves out. The hierarchy moves out. So sunburst charts in Power BI. Okay, particularly wherever you want to display hierarchical data, you can go and use this graph. So every level of hierarchy that you see, it is represented by one ring. So this is the first ring, this is the second ring, this is the third ring, right? Something similar to donut, but with different hierarchies. Let's move on to the next type of visual. Just before that, we want to see what are the different things I can do. I can add different objects in Power BI, isn't it? What all are those different objects which can be added? Let's have a look at it. We can add an object called picture, shape, text box, button, action URL, navigation, bookmarks, drill through. Okay, these are the different objects which can be added to my Power BI. And in order to do that, let us see some of these objects which I have added here. If you carefully observe here, I have some a table which is representing my region and the sales. Amazon's regions and Amazon sales. So Amazon has divided its sales regions into west, east, central, south. So you can see in different regions, different sales are there. But then I wanted to add different objects. How can I add different objects? By clicking this option objects, and you can see Google, LearnBay on YouTube, go to LearnBay, more on this, right? The next thing that we've got here is the bookmark action in Power BI. Have a look at it. The bookmark action is nothing but a collection of bookmarks, different buttons that you can plot. There is a selection page, right? There are some actions which you can perform. So along with fields, visualizations, you can have bookmarks, you can have different selections. You've got button 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many buttons are there? 5. So corresponding to this 5, you've got a layer order. You have sales by region, which is represented by this graph. You've got sales by category and subcategory, which is represented here. See, this is my sales by category and sales by subcategory. You can add region sales. You can have card sales, SC sales. Free version, it is not there. If you want to practice, I think it's the one option is we can buy the license. Okay, yes, these dashboards can be created, Piyush. We can create a dashboard of our own. And finally, you can also generate a report like this. Please observe this slide once. A report. So report means information. And that report can be created for multiple visuals. Let's say if I've got multiple visuals, some visuals representing some information like this, a line graph, a pie chart, donut chart, right? And then there are some curves, graphs like this. So all those reports can be generated, which is a combination of multiple visuals. Moving next, we've got an option how we can publish on the Power BI service. So what is Power BI service? We discussed it yesterday. You know, let's say if I'm creating a graph or a diagram on Excel, what do I need? I need 3 things, right? I need the Excel itself where I can plot it. Then probably if let's say whatever I have made on the Excel, I want to give a presentation in my organization. What do? I copy that and put it on a PowerPoint presentation, and I get it ready. But let's say then I have to share this PowerPoint presentation, I would need Outlook. So in order to represent the information, the data that I had, what all 3 tools did I need? The Excel itself, right? The second thing that I needed was the PowerPoint presentation, the PPTs, and the third thing that I needed with Outlook. But let's say if you want that Power BI should automatically share the information, send reports on your behalf, this tool can do it. Let's say every Wednesday morning, you want a report to be shared with the stakeholders. You can do those settings, you can configure those settings, and you can put it on the Power BI. Okay. And as you are doing that on the Power BI, what it will do, it will be really magical to see it. I mean, you know, it just shoots out the email, and plus with the published data. With the published data, it is going to put it with the changed data. So that is how we can do. Again, in the paid version. So if you click on Home Publish, you will see Publish to Power BI. It's giving you this option, right? So it says finally publishing to Power BI, and then you can click on Got It. You can add comments, subscribe. You can click on the share option. Can you see these different things? And finally, you can, if you want, you can pin to the dashboard. And most importantly, a dashboard like this can be created. Okay. The most important thing sometimes, you know, in Tableau and other powerful visualizations tools, you would have seen that you can actually create live dashboards. With Power BI, this is a challenge. You cannot create by default interactive dashboards. So if you want to create dashboards, you can pin it to the live pages that you have. Okay. So it's more like a static view that you see on the dashboards. So this is the dashboard that I was talking about, Power BI dashboards, right? We discussed they are not very, very interactive by default. You have to make the dashboard interactive by pinning the live page. And in real time, the scenario reports are used. Particularly if you want a static view of the content, you can view it like this. Okay, different. The answer to your question, reports and dashboards, they're different, Meena. Okay, is there any questions on the slides? Okay, what I'm going to do is just to give you a quick practice of 10-15 minutes, I'm going to pop up some slides, right? I'm going to show you some graphs, and I want you to import your data and try your best in order to plot a graph, something similar to what I have shown. Okay, so let's quickly get it done. So the very first graph that I want all of you to try, all of you to practice is a funnel chart. Let's quickly create it. Let me share my screen also with you. We'll do some practice for 10-15 minutes. And I will also help you in case you're not able to create the funnel chart. I will show you how in Power BI, what all options you can select and get the Power BI generated. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now. How about creating a graph like this? Right, let's quickly try this, make sure it's done. And if you have done it, you can give a thumbs up or done in the chat. Let me share my screen. Okay, I hope you all can see a funnel chart. Let's create a funnel chart and see if we are comfortable with the funnel chart. 4 done, 5 done, 7 done, 8 done. Okay, whatever data set you are creating, working on, let us very quickly go to that data set. So what I'm going to do is go to Power BI desktop, right? See, there is an option called funnel chart over here. Funnel. Can you all see my screen? As I click on this, whatever data that I have created, it was not a very good data, I think. Let's do one thing. Let's quickly create one more. So what I'm going to do is open a new page, click on new visual, right? And on this new visual, I will select the option of the funnel chart, right? And let's say I wanted to put some information in the funnel chart with, let's say, value sales, right? I wanted to put the information as region, right? I wanted to put some information as profit. You can see a distorted funnel chart which is getting created, right? But giving me some kind of an information, right? In order to get a very clear funnel chart, what you can do is provide appropriate value. So for example, what you can do, you can add the things here. See, these are the different things we are selling: phones, chairs, storage, tables. We are selling machines, accessories, copiers. Can you see these are different options? So these are the different products we are selling. And this is my subcategory sales, right? Over here, it shows me that this entire thing from the left to the right is 100%. Phones is this much K, chairs is this much K, storage is this much K, right? And if you want to give some titles, add labels, even those options are available. You can add. Okay. Anybody faced any problem with the funnel chart? Are we all happy with the funnel chart? Can we look into some more charts which we have missed, which we have not been able to do it? Okay, we are going to create something like this, a combo chart, which is a combination of line and column chart. Can anybody try generating this? Region will be column series, column values will be sales, line values will be profit. So this line value is a profit. Let's quickly try this. So when I talk about a combo chart, I'm actually trying to create a combination of line and column chart, right? A dual axis kind of a chart. A graph like this will be more and more useful if you wanted to compare the two measures. Let's say you wanted to compare the line and the clustered column. How can you do that? I've got different sales. I've got sales across the region, central, east, south, west. and finally a profit. If you look at it very carefully, this blue is the central region, light blue. This dark blue is the east region. This orange color is the south, and this purple color is the west. This line which goes across this graph is a profit graph. So if you very carefully look into what the way I've plotted this, on the column series, I've selected the region. What is the region? Region are the central, east, south, west, and profit. The column values are the sales, this values, right? The line values that I've got is the profit. This is the curve which is telling me the profit which has happened over the different years. And what else I wanted? I wanted quarter, month, day, all these informations. So I've added it here. So it's actually denoting me the sales and the profit per year and per region. So that means by year, by region. Okay. Can we all try plotting this graph? Look at some options. So Sadhana, to answer your question, this year is here. See, I've added it under this category. The fields, the year, the quarter, the month, and the date. And then the column series is my category. This category which you see here, this is right here. I've got the column values, which are the sales value. Okay, and the line values is my profit. I hope you remember these are the multiple things. You can add multiple things in these fields, right? So you can drag and drop and place it on this area. Okay, how many of us have done it? It's giving the correct output. Done, Sarath done. Okay, how many of us more done? Please try. As I said, towards the end of this session, what I'll do is I will also upload this PPT. So you can try one by one all these graphs. On the right hand side of the PPT, you will see that I have shown what all you can select. And on the left side, you can see the different plots which can be plotted. Jai Shri done, Chandra done. Great, Lakshmi done. Okay, Sadhana, is your question answered? You were asking me about the year. Is it clear now? Okay. How about using the same data that you were doing and making some modifications to create a multi-line chart? Let's say I wanted to create a multi-line chart. Let me just quickly show you the graph, which I'm hoping all of you can now try. What I want you to do is I want to create a line chart which to have a date field, So what I would do, I will have order date, year, quarter, month, and day. I would have a legend, use the region. So the region is somewhere here, right? So drag and drop and put it in the region. Under the values, take the sales, please. And once you have taken all these values, you can just plot a graph exactly what we are getting right now. Can you see this plot? Exactly similar to this. Can we try this? Can we try this graph and get four plots plotted like this? There will be one for the year, quarter, month, and day. Again, you can use any data. You can use any data set here and try to plot a graph. And write done in the chat if you've done it. Brilliant. Akhil done, Shivam done. Chandra done, Lakshmi done. Okay. Try. As many of you can try, please try these graphs, which I'm giving you. It'll be a good practice to see what these different graphs are doing. Okay. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, pour it in the chat. By the time, if you're not able to do it, but you still have a question, please ask me any question that comes to your mind. Any questions on Power BI? Try this and ask any questions. Okay, question is the difference between the reports and this. So see, the key difference is that Power BI dashboard, when I talk about, as we discussed before, it's a collection of visuals. It's going to tell you some story, give you some information graphically, like charts and graphs, along with the features to interact with the end user. When I talk about report, it is just a detailed summary. Reports is like an aggregation, some sums or some information that I put. So it's a kind of a detailed summary of a large data set. As per the criteria which is given to the user, it will be kind of a detailed summary. But when I talk about dashboard, it is a group of visuals that we create. So it's not wrong to say that when I say report is more detailed collection of tables or charts or graphs. It's kind of a more detailed. But a dashboard will be something which will answer your question in a single view. Okay. What is the DAX functions? So what about the DAX functions? So DAX functions, if you're, we won't be able to cover this. That's a very advanced level of data analysis. So data analysis expressions, when I talk about in Power BI, like in any other tool, it is basically a collection of your functions, different operators, constants, which you can be, and you can use those functions or operators or constants in some formula. You can calculate return on one or more values, right? So some kind of an information from the data which is already in your model, DAX functions can help you to do. So we will not cover it, but if you want, you can use the modeling tab in Power BI desktop. So if you go to, Raju, if you go to Power BI desktop, go to the modeling tab, you will see a new column option there, right? So if you click on a formula, bar will come, column is equal to. There you can use, replace the column word with the column name you want, give the expression and use the formulas, right? So there are over 250 functions for the DAX. We won't be able to cover them. This workshop was more to give you an insight of the Power BI. Okay. Anushka Singh, it comes under the weak AI or a strong AI. I would not say weak AI or a strong AI. It is basically a tool which can be basically used for a visualization, right? So we don't classify. It's basically an AI tool. But see, Microsoft introduced this new AI capabilities in Power BI recently, and now users like us, like you and me, who are using Power BI, we can leverage this AI in business intelligence. We can explore data, find answers, right? So in terms of Power BI, definitely this auto ML that you have in Power BI, it will help the data analyst across the globe to use data flows, build machine learning models, right? Have a simplified experience, just like Power BI skills. So most of this data science behind the creation of ML models is automated by Power BI. So you can have this. Another thing that you can explore on your own is NLP, right? Right. So like different other tools, for example, Tableau builds a very transparent AI into its platform. So everybody can understand, you, me, everybody in this, for example, forum can understand how predictions were made, how insights were surfaced, right? So similarly, Azure and other tools we've got. So explore. NLP is another very useful thing which you can explore. Yeah, Rutik, thank you. This is a good link if you want to look into more DAX information. Thanks for sharing. Yes, Meena, it's correct. It's required to learn. Yes, if you want to go into higher level of Power BI, Meena, then definitely it is required. Okay. Any other questions? I hope everybody is also parallelly trying. Whosoever is willing to do, has the laptop and everything, you're trying that graph as well, right? What is the Power Apps in Power BI and cross filter report? Okay, so Power Apps, Meena, is basically, this Power BI has got this feature where it can enable your data insights and make decision making much better, right? When I talk about Power Apps, it will enable everyone to build and use apps that will connect to business data, right? So if you want to use a Power BI, Power App visual, what you can do, you can pass the context aware data to Canvas app. So what will happen with that? It will keep updating in real time. As and when you're making the changes in your report, it will just keep showing. So Power BI, if you're asking, can I connect? Yes, definitely. Power BI is a business analytics tool, right? So it can definitely, if you're using Power BI apps visual in Power BI, you can just enable the power of Power App into Power BI. So far as a reporting feature is there. So whatever visual you will create, it will just add another layer of functionality to this report. Okay, so definitely this is one of those outstanding tools which can help you make interactive dashboard reports. And again, no coding required, isn't it? Something like Power Apps. Power Apps also is one of those ultimate tools. You don't need the coding for that. We discussed this yesterday, right? For an Excel, you might need a macros and all in order to get a full-fledged pivot table or a graph. But in Power BI, no coding is required. Okay, how many of us are still facing any errors while making that graph? This current graph? Okay, so, I got some questions on the cross filter report. Yes, Tasneem. So in Power BI, if you want to create a cross filter report, first of all, you would go to the option files. Let me just show you the options. So if you click on this file, right, there will be options and settings. Click on this one, right? In the options, which you can see, window below navigation. Can you see this graph, this place, sorry? Right? So now just click on options, right? And over here, when you click on the options, you will see right in the bottom here, window left navigation. So just click down. Can you do this with me so that it is clear? Right? Click on this report settings option. And as you click on under the bottom right, under the cross drill through, you can create some options. See over here. Can you see cross report drill through? Just make sure this selection is clicked. Yeah, this option. Okay. And once in case you want to visual the cross filter each other in multiple in the Power BI report, if there are multiple, there are some options. You can just click on format. You can click on interactions. You can then edit whatever interactions are there, but make sure these steps are done. Report settings, and finally drill down, go down, allow visuals in this report to drill down. This is the options. Okay. So two ways are there in order to count the products by year. You can turn your bi-directional cross filtering on the relationship. That is option one. What it will do, it will change how the filters work for all the data between these two tables. So use this cross filter function. You can explore it based on this information. Okay, it will definitely be useful when particularly want to make intuitive dashboards. Something dashboards which interact with the data, right? Depending on how one metrics is affecting the other metrics. So cross filtering. Okay. The screen is not visible. Okay, sorry. I think something was wrong. Okay, so I'll select the option again. Don't worry, I'll show you again. So where were we? We clicked on file. And then after clicking on the files, this is the option, options and settings, right? Just before the save as, get, import, export, publish, click on options and settings. And then click on these options. As you click on the options, you will see a modal which will open, which will give you two columns, one or two headings. One is global and then the current file. So go to the report settings here. I'll wait for you to visualize this. Yes, click on the report settings. And now scroll down, cross report drilled through. Select this option. Finally, click on OK. I'm sorry, I think my screen was hanged for a minute, right? So cross reporting is nothing but, it's a process. It's kind of a way in which your reporting and information sharing can be geared together, making sure you're getting a comprehensive and good response, right?